Hello everyone, welcome back to more King's Quest, the quest for the crown. Just wanted to mention I did make a slight change in my setup here. I've repositioned my microphone. I have it on a boom arm that extends out, and I did have it kind of up in the air with the mic, upside down hanging and doing it that way. Now I'm doing it up under, so it's pointing up and it's below. So I'm going to see how this works. All the videos I've done up to this point, just in general, but in this playthrough, I've had it the other way. So if it sounds a little different, a little better, that's why. It may sound the same. There may not be much difference at all, but I think I like having the mic come up from underneath than I do hanging above me. It seems like it's more out of my way and it's not in my peripheral vision. So just have to be a little more conscious that it's closer to me in the front, so I don't slap it with my hand. So anyway, we are at the point now where we need to head back to a house that we saw with a axe and a log, and I think there was like a water well pump out front. A brown wooden house that's close by. I did sort of do, to a point. I was thinking after I played this last night, I was reminded of the Dark Souls series, and I was thinking like, is it possible that Miyazaki was influenced at all by these old Sierra games? Because this is kind of like Dark Souls. You're just not, fighting anything, but it has the same kind of open-ended branching path that feels like it's open world, and we have done things slightly out of sequence just because I kind of got messed up on the bucket part and the well initially. But I've been referencing the guide here just to see what I have missed. What I've only really missed without using the guide was the pebbles that we found. I think I found everything else or remembered. So we really should, up to this point at least, really have 55 points, but we have 96, and it's because we've done some stuff after things that we should have done sooner that I put off. So yeah, we need to go to that house. That's the first thing we need to do right now. Let's look at our inventory. Dagger. Yeah, we're going to go use the bowl right now. We have the first of the three relics of the kingdom, or treasures of the kingdom, whatever you want to call it. Magical mirror. We still need the, magical shield and chest, I think. Okay. And yeah, the witch's note, you do get points by reading the note as well as picking it up. But if you pick it up and you don't read it, those are less points. Alright, so let's go try to find this house. I don't quite remember where it is. It's over this direction somewhere. Yeah, I figured I'd do this mic change. I did it earlier today. Whoa, that's not going to lead anywhere healthy. Because I've got it kind of rigged for my setup over here. Zip ties are a very useful tool for doing just about anything. Used a bunch of zip ties, had to cut a bunch of old ones off to reposition. Because yeah, I have my current headset right now that I use is a Razer Kraken Tournament Edition Black. It doesn't have light up in the earmuffs, so I think that's a better version you know, like a version 2, whereas the version 1 that probably I have doesn't have the lights in it. And I did initially, Gentle Sir Graham, I am your fairy godmother. Your quest is indeed noble. My small part to aid you can be no bigger than this magical spell. Protective, but for a little while. He's trying to get all the extra fairy dust on him that he can by jumping up and down. I think you have to wait until she's like done. I will be watching over you, Sir Graham. Peace out, lady. Now we can walk in the middle of the screen like a real boss. But yeah, when I initially started doing YouTube on my first playthrough on here, Penumbra Overture, I did try to use my microphone on my Razer headset, but it just was not good enough. So I had to get a real legit mic. It's only $50. I've literally only spent like $50, $60 to get any new equipment I needed to start YouTube, so that's not much. If you'd like to see the equipment I use, my computer specs, all that good stuff, you can look in the About tab on the channel, and I have a link. It's a tiny URL link. It goes to a text document. I had the brilliant idea that so I could say everything else I wanted to in there and then not plaster a wall of text of my specs that would eat up like the 1,000 character limit you get in the About page. I was like, I'll just make a text document, put whatever I want to say about my specs in there, and I'll upload that to my Google Drive, and then I'll give you guys a link. So that was my slick workaround to say more on my About page than I really could. But yeah, here we are. So yeah, if you go there, it's just a link to a text document listing everything I got. So check it out. All right, we're gonna save. So yeah, this is my current save. Go to the house with the axe. I was giving myself a reminder. At house with axe. And I'm gonna make just a generic quick save. I don't think we can take that axe. Does make typing a little more difficult because now my microphone's in the way of my keys. And, you know, in the case of this game anyway, because it revolves around typing, the handle has been broken and repaired. The head shows the signs of many sharpenings. Okay. Take axe. The old axe is tightly wedged in the tree stump. You cannot remove it no matter what you do. Okay. This well pump. Look at pump. It is an ancient rusty water pump. It probably doesn't even work. Use pump. Not close enough. The rusty pump doesn't work. Okay. So there's no door on this house. You just can go in, but this is a safe area, I remember. I'm here, everybody. What are we doing? Got holes in the floor. A guitar. Looks like a guitar. It's about the size of a guitar. It's probably not a guitar, but that's what I would guess. Look at man. The woodcutter is thin and dressed in rags. Look at woman. The woodcutter's wife is skinny and poorly dressed. Talk to man. Welcome to my humble abode. Okay. Just flopping his hands. Talk to woman. So that's the nice thing about not having it stop the game when you type is while you're moving from one objective to the next, you can kind of type as you go, and it doesn't stop you. She replies, I'd like to offer you something, but we do not even have food for ourselves. Okay, so what we can do here is we can give him the ceramic bowl that had the word fill written in the bottom, which you just have to say the word fill, and the bowl gets full of stew. And then you can eat it, say fill again, and you just have an endless supply of food. So we can offer, give woman bowl. Oops. You best be careful, young Graham. The mystic protector spell of mine has weakened and departed. Okay. Just the fairy spell ran out. Give woman a bowl. The woodcutter family is very grateful that you have given them a bowl of stew. Now they will have at least one last meal. No, they have enough meals to last a lifetime. As a token of their gratitude, they offer their last earthly possession, the woodcutter's fiddle. Okay, it's a fiddle. Hey, that ain't your last possession. Maybe I want the axe instead of the fiddle. Okay. 99 points now. They're all slapping their legs. Okay. There's the bowl in the middle of the table. Don't fall down the hole and die. He's just going to put this in his pocket. Look at fiddle. The fiddle is a beautiful instrument made of polished wood. So you'll learn the protagonists usually, not in Space Quest, obviously, but in the King's Quest games, the person you play as usually is always very skilled musically. So keep that in mind as you play out through the series. Take fiddle. The polished wood feels like satin. It seems to still vibrate from the last song it played. Okay, got 102 now. Just look at it. Fashioned from polished cherry wood. I wonder if we can just play it now. Let's make a save. Got fiddle. Play fiddle. You play a lively toe-tapping tune on the fiddle. Probably get copyright claimed for that little bit and me humming it. I don't know what song that was. I recognize the melody. Look at bed. Asleep. Get in bed. Can I borrow your bed for like 5 minutes? Look, cabinet. It is closed, but in this house, all the cabinets are bare. Alright. Talk to me again. Welcome to my humble abode. Tap, 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 tap. Okay. Okay, let me just look at my own notes here that I've been trying to keep. Even though I could just look at the guide, but I'm trying to follow my own notes. Okay. Up and left we need to go. I'm trying to get caught up to where we should be. How many points do we have? 102. Yeah, we still have like a lot more points than we should have at the moment. So we're going to go up and left here. Okay, so I think there is something maybe to get here and I didn't get it. Look in stump. Inside the old rotted stump, you notice a small canvas pouch. Yeah, because I learned the word stump is like really what they want you to use. Okay. Get punch. Get, I can't not type. Pooch. You notice the pouch feels aged and tattered. 106. Okay. Where is it? Pouch. The tattered pouch is made of coarse canvas. Open pouch. Cautiously, you open the pouch and see many sparkling and flashing diamonds. Quickly, you close it again so as not to lose any. We did get points for that. Went from 106 to 109. Okay. All right. I made a note of that earlier that I wanted to come back and look at that. So, we've done, looking here at the guide real quick, the next thing we would do after this point was to do the stuff with the goat to get rid of the troll on the bridge, which we've already done. And then do the gnome thing and get the beans. So there's a few things we're going to be doing here that are new coming up before we kind of get caught up on the points to where we should actually be at. But now we're pretty well caught up and ready to go to the next part. So yeah, with the gnome, it was either get the key by guessing the name wrong 3 times and opening a door that has a little more difficult of a path to travel, or guess his name right and get beans. And so what we need to do now is we need to go plant those beans. But what we need to do is we need to find that that screen. So we're going to say got gems. We need to find the screen where we talk to the gnome, which I have no idea where that is. Because that's going to be my point of reference to where we need to go to get to the next part. Okay, there's the corral for the goat. Is he in there still? Let's look. I'm just curious, because after he helped us, he left. So did he go back here on his own, I wonder? Well, the gate's open. So I guess not. I left it open so he could come out with me. I didn't close it behind me, but I guess he's just despawns from the game at this point. I want to say the gnome is up and left somewhere. Oh yeah, the spell's worn off. Okay, cool. She's back. She is your fairy godmother. There's no need to say or do anything. Don't say thanks or nothing. Can we dance? Nope. We can jump around though. There's plenty of reason to jump. Sweet. Okay. At some point in the future, I might like to go back and try to play the OG original of this. I don't know that I have, to be honest. I think I have to go higher. This is probably the version I played when I played this game for the first time, because my first King's Quest was, okay, here's that door. But you can't go in unless you get the key, but we don't want the key because that's not really the right... You don't get the most points for taking the key path. But yeah, my first King's Quest was King's Quest 4, and I went backwards from there. going to assume that you can swim this. So I doubt I played the original of this. Let's make a quick save. Yeah, as I've been playing video to video, I've been going back in through ScumVM before I load the next game, and I've been thinning out the saves that I do make. Keep going. But yeah, I was going to say too, you know, it's like, yeah, you can look at this and say, this looks terrible, or like, why would anybody think this was cool? It's like, this was like state of the art, you know, back in this era. But yeah, it does look like it was made in paint, you know. But they get better. This is the first. This is modeled after. It's like a remaster, kind of a... it's not quite a remaster. But you know what I mean. It's a cleaned up version of the original. But you'll see when I do actually play the proper remake of this game, like proper remaster, not remakes per se, but remaster, you'll see the difference in graphics. Whereas comparing this to the actual original King's Quest would be, you know, slightly more similar. But yeah, I'm not going to tell you these game graphics are like amazing. But the most impressive thing really was, I mean, Space Quest 1 I think looks better than this, but it's newer, even though it's the first in the series. Let's go up one more. But the character animations look really good. Go over. And I mean, we'll see when we play King's Quest 2 at some point. Should be some, you know, graphical fidelity improvements. Take a sip of drink. I think we're close. Yeah, I mean, this was like MIDI music. Well, no, this is not actually MIDI music, but the better, the newer sequels of these games. Be careful, nearby sorcerers, mystical powers can leave you immobilized and helpless. Or we have, thought we still had the fairy spell, but maybe not. Certain screens, certain enemies like to spawn often. Yep. This is just using, you know, like the bleeps and bloops of PC Junior speaker. There's the house. We killed the witch. But later games in Space Quest, King's Quest, they use MIDI, Roland, MIDI synthesizers, and they sound really freaking good. It's so crazy because I've probably already mentioned it before, but playing Space Quest 3 back in the day with just the PC speaker sound, and then hearing how it was actually intended to be heard musically and sound effects using the MIDI Roland MT32. Oh, it's just so crazy how much better it sounds. I had no idea back then that that's how it could sound. Not that I mind this, but yeah, years and years later, finally hearing it proper. We're really close, I think. I don't know. You can't just use MIDI on all of them. You'll see in my list, whenever you see me show my games in ScumVM, I've got them labeled to which one I'm going to use what sound for. But like Space Quest 2 is going to be the PC Junior speakers, and then the Space Quest 3 will be the MIDI Roland. So King's Quest, I think King's Quest 4, maybe 3. Okay, I've looped at this point. I need to go up. At least King's Quest 4 is when the MIDI stuff starts. Okay, let's start going left. There's a small dwarf close by. It'd be a good idea to be careful. Whoa, dude. Dude's quick. I think what he does if he captures you, I never did get what was in this hole, I don't think. He steals your stuff, and he might put it in here, actually, I don't know. Looking hole. Yeah, green glow. I don't have anything to brighten up. Pouch of diamonds. The diamonds in the pouch glisten beautifully in the light. Maybe I can use those. Use diamonds. Put diamonds in hole. Get light. Cannot get the light. Get hole. What did he say? Faint green glow. Get green glow. Get glow. I don't understand glow. Like you can't go in there. Alright, we'll just keep going. I feel like there's something in there. That may be where he puts your stuff. But I think that's what he does. He doesn't kill you. He just steals your stuff. Certain things in your inventory will be missing. Yeah, there's a keybind to make your dude start swimming, or you can just type in swim. You can also type dive if it's deep enough. I think this might be a screen we need to come back to. I think the beans need to be planted there. I think. Okay, where's this gnome dude? Troll is already dead. And there's only one troll, even though there's like 5 bridges. Could that tree be like that gray tree on the right? Could that be any more like non-descriptive? Doesn't have any detail. Okay, here it is. Okay, good. Okay, so we're gonna go at gnome's crib. Today on Cribs, Rumpelstiltskin's house. Alright, let me look here. So, yes, walk east twice, okay. So once you get the beans, whoa, you need to come back here and go to that flower patch I was just talking about. I am going to reference the guide here because there's like certain directions I think you need to go in this next part. Okay, look, flowers. What a pretty bit of wildflowers. All right. Planting seeds. Okay, so plant seeds. Don't understand seeds. What do you call them? Beans. Plant beans. The beans immediately sprout roots that reach deep into the fertile soil. Leaves unfold themselves to the warm, loving sun. A rumbling is felt, and a mighty beanstalk now stretches up into the sky. quick save. Just like that, we got ourselves a beanstalk. So we will stop the video here, and when we come back to the next video, we will go and see if we can find Jack up in his beanstalk. So thank you very much for watching. We will see you in the next part. Bye.